Peter Allen, musician. This video compresses information gathered from Wikipedia in video format. Studies prove that reading while listening improves comprehension, increases speed as well as expands vocabulary and enhances fluency. Video sections. Abstract. Early life. Career. Personal life. Death and legacy. In popular culture. External links. Give your feedback on the comments section. Support the channel by subscribing and liking the video. Thanks. Abstract. Peter Allen was an Australian singer-songwriter, musician and entertainer, known for his flamboyant stage persona and lavish costumes. His songs were made popular by many recording artists, including Elkie Brooks, Melissa Manchester and Olivia Newton-John, with one, Arthur's Theme, by Christopher Cross, winning an Academy Award for Best Original Song in 1981. In addition to recording many albums, he enjoyed a cabaret and concert career, including appearing at the Radio City Music Hall riding a camel. His patriotic song, I Still Call Australia Home, has been used extensively in advertising campaigns, and was added to the National Film and Sound Archive Sounds of Australia Registry in 2013. Allen was the first husband of Liza Minnelli, with the couple divorcing after 7 years of marriage. He later came out as gay. He and his long-term partner died from AIDS-related illnesses 8 years apart, with Allen becoming one of the first well-known Australians to die from AIDS. In 1998, a musical about his life, The Boy from Oz, debuted in Australia. It ran on Broadway and earned Hugh Jackman a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical. Early life. Allen was born Peter Richard Woolnough in Tenterfield, New South Wales, a small Australian country town where his grandfather, George Woolnough, worked as a saddler. He grew up in nearby Armidale, where he lived from about 6 weeks of age until the age of 15. This is also where he first learned piano and dance. His father Dick became a violent alcoholic after returning from World War II. He committed suicide by gunshot when Peter was still young. George never understood or got over this devastating event. Soon after this, the family moved to Lismore to live. This tale is told in the song Tenterfield Saddler. He began his performing career with Chris Bell as one of the Allen brothers, who were a popular cabaret and television act in the early 1960s in Australia. He began performing as Peter Allen around the same time. Mark Heron, the husband of Judy Garland, discovered Allen while he was performing in Hong Kong. Career. Allen commenced releasing solo recordings in 1971, but throughout his career achieved greater success through his songs being recorded by others. He scored his biggest success with the song, I Honestly Love You, which he co-wrote with Jeff Barry and which became a major hit in 1974 for Olivia Newton-John. Her single reached #1 in the United States and Canada and won 2 Grammy Awards for Record of the Year and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance for Newton-John. Allen also co-wrote Don't Cry Out Loud with Carol Bayer-Sager, popularized by Melissa Manchester in 1978, and I'd Rather Leave While I'm in Love, also co-written with Bayer-Sager and popularized by Rita Coolidge in 1979. One of his signature songs, I Go to Rio, co-written with Adrian Anderson, was popularized in America by the group Pablo Cruz. In 1976, Allen released an album, Taught by Experts, which reached #1 in Australia, along with the #1 single, I Go to Rio, and the top 10 hits The More I See You. The album also included the song, Quiet Please, There's a Lady on Stage, which was recorded by many artists including Jack Jones and Dusty Springfield. Although his recording career in the US never progressed, he performed in Atlantic City and at Carnegie Hall. He had 3 extended, sold-out engagements at New York City's Radio City Music Hall, where he became the first male dancer to dance with the Rockettes and rode a camel during I Go to Rio. This performance was broadcast live and exclusively on subscription television service WHT Their Movie Network. Allen's most successful album was Bi-Coastal, 1980, produced by David Foster and featuring the single, Fly Away, which in 1981 became his only U.S. chart single, reaching No. 55 on the Billboard Hot 100. In addition, Allen co-wrote the Patti LaBelle hit, I Don't Go Shopping, which reached the top 30 on the R&B chart in 1980. Allen co-wrote the song, Arthur's Theme, with Burt Bacharach, Carol Bayer-Sager and Christopher Cross, for the 1981 film Arthur. The song reached number 1 in the US and the songwriters won an Academy Award for Best Song. One lyric for the song, If You Get Caught Between the Moon and New York City, was adapted from an earlier song that he and Bayer-Sager co-wrote. Allen and Bayer-Sager also co-wrote You and Me, which was recorded by Frank Sinatra. A video of Sinatra singing the song at Carnegie Hall was included as part of the Sinatra New York package, released in late 2009. Allen performed on Australian television for many important occasions. In front of Queen Elizabeth II in 1980 at the Sydney Opera House, before Prince Charles and Princess Diana, once in Melbourne and again in Sydney in 1981, at the opening of the Sydney Entertainment Centre in 1983, where he unveiled for the first time his Australian flag shirt, and the 1980 VFL Grand Final in Melbourne. His Up in One concert of 1980 was a big ratings success across the country. When Australia won the America's Cup in 1983, he flew to Perth to sing before an audience of 100,000. In 1988, he opened for Frank Sinatra at Sanctuary Cove, Queensland. In America, he appeared at the 30th anniversary of Disneyland. He returned to recording on Arista with an album entitled Not a Boy Next Door. 1983. In 1990, he recorded his final album on RCA Victor, Making Every Moment Count, which featured Melissa Manchester and Harry Connick Jr. The song, Making Every Moment Count, a duet with Manchester, was co-written by Seth Swierski, who also produced a number of songs he co-wrote with Allen, including Allen's last released single, Tonight You Made My Day. One of his songs, I Still Call Australia Home, became popular through its use in television commercials, initially for National Panasonic and, since 1987, for Qantas Airways. He made his Broadway debut on the 12th of January 1971, in Soon, a rock opera that opened at the Ritz Theatre and ran for 3 performances. He starred in his own one-man revue on Broadway at the Biltmore Theatre. Up in One, More Than a Concert, 1979, which ran for 46 performances. Allen recorded a live album called Captured Live at Carnegie Hall where songs from his musical Legs Diamond were previewed. Legs Diamond opened on Broadway at the Mark Hellinger Theatre on the 26th of December 1988, with a book co-written by Harvey Fierstein. The musical ran for 64 performances and 72 previews. After Legs Diamond closed, he returned to concert work, touring with Bernadette Peters during the summer of 1989. Peter and Bernadette also performed in the early 1980s on the Academy Award broadcast in extended musical tribute to Irving Berlin. Personal life. On the 26th of November 2005, an extension of the Tenterfield Library was opened and named the George Woolnough Wing. Allen married Liza Minnelli in 1967. They were divorced in 1974, becoming more comfortable with his homosexuality from the 1970s to 1984. Allen had a longtime partner, Gregory Connell. Connell was a fashion model from Texas who designed the sound and lighting for Allen's shows and sang backup on his rendition of I Go to Rio. Connell died from an AIDS-related illness in 1984 at their home in California. Death and legacy. Allen's last performance was on the 26th of January 1992 in Sydney. He died in San Diego, California, on the 18th of June 1992 from an AIDS-related throat cancer. He was cremated, and his ashes were scattered at sea. A documentary titled The Boy from Oz about Allen was produced after his death, featuring clips from his performances as well as interviews with performers who worked with. Hi Monsieur, a stage musical based on his life, also titled The Boy from Oz, opened in Australia in 1998, using his largely autobiographical songs. The production starred Todd McKenney as Allen and Christina Amphlett of the rock group Divinyls as Judy Garland. In 2003, the musical opened on Broadway, becoming the first Australian musical ever to be performed there. In this production, Allen was played by Hugh Jackman, who won a Tony Award for his portrayal in 2004. Jackman performed this role again 2 years later when the show toured large arenas in Australia, under the title The Boy from Oz. Arenas Spectacular, a TV miniseries. Peter Allen, Not the Boy Next Door, was broadcast in Australia in 2015 with Joel Jackson playing the adult Allen and Kai Baldwin playing him as a youth. Supporting roles were played by Rebecca Gibney as Marion Woolnough, Allen's mother, Sarah West as Liza Minnelli, and Sigrid Thornton as Judy Garland. In popular culture, during the closing few moments of the final episode of The Late Late Show with Tom Snyder, during a video photo montage, Peter Allen's Once Before I Go played in the background. In the 1979 film All That Jazz, Allen's live rendition of Everything Old Is New Again is danced to by Anne Reinking and Elizabeth Foldy for Roy Scheider's character Joe Gideon based on Bob Fosse.